Error happened. No error.
No.
We are live.
Oh,
Hello everyone.
yay.
Yay! Welcome to the first official episode of My Brains and Asshole with Darla Mersman and Mai Vu Coach. Hi.
Hi, everyone. Yay. Glad you're here.
Yay! I would like to introduce my partner, my partner in crime, my sweet friend, my client, my just someone I admire a whole lot, and she qualifies as one of the boldest and bravest women that I have the honor of knowing. So I've known Dala for more than 7 years.
17.
We lost track.
No. Maybe 15. But it's been a while.
Okay. All right. So it's been 15 years, and we have traveled we met when I was training coaches for the Coaches Training Institute, and Dala was one of the students, and we hit it off as, friends, and just so we saw light in each other. And then she hired me as a coach, and we worked together for a year or two or something like that. And then Dala had an episode, a terrible, tragic thing that happened. I switched to holding space and holding her and her family and prayers and, help. And then and then Dala recovered, and then we became van lifers. We travel. We spend like a summer traveling. I'm in my van, and they're in their trailers, and we traveled to a few places together in Colorado and Utah. It was so awesome.
So much fun.
And now, right? And now we've been cooking this idea the whole time, which is what Dala is going through with her mental illness and her breakdown, and how she is recovering from that, and how me and part of her family and circle to support her. And then I am also helping her, capture this journey and get back out there, get on stage and talk about this, write her book. And so there's just a lot of weaving in that we have been with each other over the years. And now we're here doing this podcast so that we just keep making it safer and give Dala practice to be the patient, the psychotherapist, the client, the friend, the educator, the entertainer, everything, but to making it really safe and joyful and easy for Dala's brain to learn how to find normal for her. Did I get it all? Did I get
I think
a
you
gold
got
star?
it all. Yeah. And I thank you so much for beautifully capturing that. That was very lovely. And if I may, I would love to talk a little bit about you before we get started.
Yay!
Yay!
Go
So this is Mai Vu Coach. She is an international coach who has been coaching for 30 years.
Over 25 years, almost 30 years. Holy cow.
Almost
That's
30
the gray
years.
hair now. Yes.
It's beautiful. And
I just felt really old there.
Yeah, right. And Mai is an international coach. She coaches women into stepping into their boldest, bravest lives. And I really appreciate, Mai, how yes, bold, brave women. And that's what we all are. And I hope that that this podcast really encompasses the boldness and the braveness that we are getting ready to tackle in this subject. And so, Mai has been my coach. She has been my trainer, my mentor. And like she said, she held the space for my family to help them get me through the tragedy that I have been through.
It's not easy.
I heard it beep. No, it's not easy.
That's okay. I think this where I'm at, it just keep beeping because I touched something. But it's okay.
Yeah.
So I want to just jump right in about this. And that we purposefully named this podcast series that My Brain's an Asshole. Why would you want to call this My Brain's an Asshole?
Well, it's a funny, quick little story
this is
that
Darla's
I'll tell you.
brainchild.
This is my brainchild. Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going through a psychotic episode, and I walked into my sister's house and I said, "My brain is an asshole." And my little 3-year-old niece heard it, and she ran around the house saying, "My brain's an asshole. My brain's an asshole." And, no one has ever heard that term before. And it did become my brainchild because it is definitely what encompasses my brain. It is an asshole.
And what does that mean when your brain is an asshole?
It means that it's very uncooperative. It doesn't like to do the things that I want it to do. It has its own way with my life.
I hear the words and I have no idea what that's like, but I'm really looking forward to exploring that and learning more about that when your brain doesn't cooperate the way you want it to, right? And kind of like today. So earlier today, we had this time schedule, and then you sent me a message saying that, I don't feel well, I've been under, and so tell us what's it like today for you, and if I wasn't encouraging you to do it, you might have canceled today.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't considering canceling, but what's going on for me is I'm just utterly exhausted. My capacity for a lot is minimal. I can only juggle so many things, and the little children have been around lately, and so they need things. They need lunch, and they need sunscreen, and they want to play, and I have to babysit their dolls, and it expends a lot of energy for me, to the point of pure exhaustion. I got a ton of sleep last night, which I require. And I just woke up this morning and I couldn't do much of anything. And so I really struggled all morning and early afternoon to find energy to do much of anything today.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is some things that women or moms or aunties or babysitters around the world take for granted, which is running after children, being able to multitask, watching the kids, playing with them, entertaining them while cooking and cleaning or working and all that stuff. And it is just not available to you. The energy that they put out exhausts you. Simply visiting their door and being around them exhausts you, even if you had a lot of sleep. So you never know when something is too much for your brain to handle, and it exhausts you.
Yeah. And I have to really take those cues and pay attention to what I need. So with the exhaustion today, I took a lot of rest. I often take a lot of rest, but today in particularly, I made sure that I was resting, and maybe even doing some mood elevation, doing some things that make me happy and bring joy to me to kind of elevate that energy a little bit.
Yeah. So this brings the love part of this how do you, and how do us who have a mental illness or any kind of illness really, how do you love yourself as is? And then how do you lovingly love yourself so that you can function and heal and contribute and be a part of, and not just judge yourself? Because I also have witnessed you have a lot of frustration with your mental illness. I mean, that's why you call it my brain's an asshole, because you get frustrated with it. You get you have been ashamed of it for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So speak to that. What's it like to have this condition that you hate but have to learn to love?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's been a process, and you have been an integral part of that process as my coach, seeing this thing for what it's been the whole time and holding space for me to go through it. It in this moment, it's easy for me to love myself enough to take care of myself. But that has not
Yeah.
always been the case. Since this all began
No.
6.5 years ago, um, I've been through a lot of psychosis and mental illness that I don't love. I still struggle to love that part of me. Um, the the other parts, there's so many components to my mental illness, but there's other parts of it that I can manage easier, and I don't wreck my life in those states. So it's easier for me to be compassionate and
Not
loving.
anymore.
Not right now.
Right. Not right now and not anymore. I hope it's not anymore. Because we've been through
I'll
that
damn
phase too.
try
And
not to, but
I'm
I
sure we
can't
will
make any
address.
promises.
Yeah. Oh, baby. Yeah. Right. Because we lived through that with you. And it was
Yeah.
very scary when you didn't know how to handle your psychosis. Nobody knew how to handle it in your family. Everybody was just reacting and panicking, and help and structure was not in place. So then it got really dicey and scary for everyone. And episodes and really share this journey of your brain's an asshole, of how your brain's an asshole. You're going to prove it to us that it's an asshole. And we also will be talking about the many ways to love it, and to uh, tolerate it and ask for love and be the love that you are in it. Such a brave journey, bold and brave, honey, bold and brave for sure.
Bold and
I also
brave.
wanted to add in I want to add in another component, which is the love part. Since I am a relationship
Yes.
coach and I work with women around the world, women and couples around the world around their relationship and what's in the relationship other than love, right? And one of my selfish reasons to be here with you is sometimes I have questions from my clients, the situation that they find themselves in. Most of the time, it's about low self-esteem and lack of confidence and self-worth. But there are times where um, I see people exhibiting behavior that is like a mental illness. So I also want to bring that in here, since you are an expert and you do know the psychology of this, the therapeutic model about this. So in the future, I will also be bringing some of those topics in so that we can pull it apart and going, what part of it is a personal growth conversation and what part is actually a diagnosed and treated and handled differently than just you know uh, learn another strategy to deal with a tough situation. Yes.
Right. Right. Yeah, and also I want to piggyback on that I think it's a perfect opportunity with you coming in to talk about mental illness and relationships, because there's such a variety of them. And, really getting into how mental illness impacts relationships, how relationships impact mental illness. I think it'll be fun to explore the relationship aspect of it.
And last but not least, if we're lucky, if I'm persistent and insistent, I will talk Darla into reading some paragraph from her books. She actually have 2 books in the works. And what's the first title, honey?
From psychotherapist to psychotic. Psychotherapist to psychotic.
Yes, right.
Yes.
So that's the first book that document what happened to Darla and her whole breakdown journey and climbing out of that.
Yeah, and it just kind of crossed my mind. Oh, can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Keep going.
So what just crossed my mind is that very clearly, this first book is 1 year of psychosis for me. Almost exactly 1 year. So it's the first year of psychosis is what the first book is. And as well as I do, there is a lot to be said there.
So many stories to tell, so many pieces that rocked your world, rocked our world. Super, to me, it's not shameful. It's beautiful. It's touching. It's humane. It's amazing. And even when you wrote about it, you had to undo a lot of shame around that. I don't know why people have shame when their brain breaks down. It doesn't make sense. It's not like something you can control. It's not like you weren't disciplined enough or take care of yourself enough or something, but somehow people really blame themselves and then go into embarrassment and shame.
Yeah, and I think that is because society does that. Society shames mental illness. And so when we become mentally ill, we take that shame on, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's bad enough that, you could barely function or keeping up and you've lost your world as you know it. And usually money and status and everything goes with this too, right?
God.
And then you take on societal shame about mental illness. So we hope that by really being honest and share your journey and our journey, supporting you around this, that other people who may be going through this or know of someone to go through this, that they would find comfort and guidance even in this treacherous terrain.
Yeah. That's that's my hope. Go ahead. And
go ahead, finish that thought.
I
was going to dangle a little bonus.
Yeah, what's the bonus?
Okay, I go. And the bonus is that, so in a couple months or less than a couple months, Darla is going to go to Burning Man, and she got invited to do a performance and a speech about her experience. And since it's Burning Man, it has to be somewhat over the top, free and real and raw, and so I also hope that we will create a playground here for you to practice some of your piece or your whatever you want to do with your talk at Burning Man around this. And so I hope you try out your material here. I hope you go.
Oh, that could be fun.
Support you. That would be so much fun. So
that would be
I
so
can't
much
wait
fun.
for that. Yes.
Yeah.
So the goal is to do a show a week. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think we can accomplish that. I think we can definitely do a show a week.
We put it on Thursday, but it has not been either Thursday or Wednesday.
Thursday.
We will get this down. Thursday. Yes.
Yeah.
Thursdays at 11 o'clock Pacific time. Is that right? I think so. That's what we decided. You'll see.
Yeah.
And so we invite you to follow us. You can follow Darla on Instagram at My Brain's an Asshole. And I will also upload these onto YouTube, onto Spotify, so that you can freely listen when you can't join us live, or or share these conversations with your loved ones to help get this important conversations out there.
Yeah,
Any
and help with some
last words you want to share
understanding.
with them?
Yeah, and help with some understanding and compassion, and really maybe some guidance and tools that people can use to help themselves, help loved ones, really get through some difficult things.
Yep. And so before we go, I wanted to check in, like, how are you feeling now? You weren't feeling that great, but you got on the thing and you're talking about this. What's it like inside right now?
Yeah, so a couple hours ago I started kind of getting a little momentum and energy going, and so I was able to come into this space in a healthier, more energized place than I was earlier.
Yay. And
Yay.
I don't know if this is true, but I know just from being a support circle, Dala needs a lot of gentleness and make things safe for her, and don't make her brain do a lot of logistical stuff, and just come and bring her essence and her beauty and her truth, and that makes it really fun and easy. But if we make Dala build a website or do things that are normal people can do, it just makes the brain get a little stressed.
Yep. Yep, that's exactly
Yep.
right.
And
Thank
it's
you. And
totally
thank you.
okay.
Yeah, for doing that and supporting me in that piece.
Yeah. So if you know of someone who is going through something like this, find out what it is that they need and gently and lovingly give it to them so that they can be supported. They're still functioning human being. They still have lots to give in their own new ways. It's not just the old ways anymore. They can't just multitask like all of us can, or it's just too taxing and exhausting for them.
Yeah. And
Sounds
too
good. We leave
complicated.
you with that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, and it can be too complicated and unreachable to do things for yourself when you're going through mental illness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's okay
Lots of
to ask for help. It's okay to say, I just can't do that anymore. Yeah,
yeah.
lots of help. Lots and lots of mundane help. I know it's easy for Darla to say that there, but I have seen her complain that she needs so much help and she hates it. And my brain's an asshole. That's what she says when she's not on camera.
That's
All right.
right.
Enough for today. Looking forward. That's right, right? The truth comes out. It's like there are times where she's like, my brain's an asshole. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I wish I
That's
was normal. I wish I was done with this. I wish. And
well, and some of it's a
it
little
cannot
tongue
be.
in cheek,
This is it.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
How
some of it's
so?
a little tongue in cheek, right? Like, um, I'm gonna make a name for my brain. It's an asshole. Like, where does that come from? And it just fell out of my mouth one day, and it just fits, because my brain doesn't do what it used to do, and now it's an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, we say goodbye to you all. We send you lots of love. We wish you well, and tune in to future episodes and let us topic that you want us to cover, and also let us know if you find this useful. And you know, we love comments, we love support. And if you would like to contribute to keeping our mojo up, you can also buy us a coffee at buy buy the buymeacoffee.com/Mai Vu Coach. Namaste.
Yes, May, if you could put that link in there for Buy Me a Coffee. I just think that's such a cute idea.
I already did. Yes.
Perfect.
It's in the
Of course you did.
description. Bye, everyone. See you next time. Of course.